Welcome to the third episode of Pixels with Sketch. My name is Sketch and I'm one of the lead artists and co-founders of Tiny Colony. Here we have the Persian land sale colony. Thank you, Chris, for providing this for us. I'm not much of a background artist, but I really do enjoy animating them. Make sure you give Chris some love because he does some really amazing work. This looks great. Very happy with the way this came out. I really like the clouds. It kind of like has like a sherbet kind of color palette. I like the moon. All around a very, very great piece. So now at the bottom, I have a chunk of frames that I can use. I try and give myself some slack, and what that means is you want to give yourself kind of like enough frames to make sure that it comes out seamless, so you're not stuck. So you have to add more frames. So if the animation doesn't loop perfectly in the timeline, then I can just delete frames. It's a lot easier to delete frames than it is to add frames. So I'm going to add a parallax effect to these clouds. So what I'm going to do is, instead of going to each frame and moving it up and down, that's going to cause like a very repetitive bouncing up and down, right? We don't want that because clouds don't typically move like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip 2 frames and then move it down. So what that means is I'll make sure that I'm clicked on the right layer. I've got my clouds from behind. I'm going to skip 2 frames from it being stationary. And yeah, that creates this effect. So if you notice, I'll go skip down for 2 frames, skip down. What that does, it creates this. So for this next one, I'm going to start with a full ground clouds. Say that 3 times. Click. I'm going to make sure that I'm on the right layer. I'm going to do the same thing that I did by skipping 2 frames, but I'm actually going to go to the right and the left instead of going down. So for here, I'm going to skip, move these frames 1, 2. I want to keep in mind what that's actually going to look like. I think I want to do 2 frames instead of 1 frame. So skip 2, move right, skip right, 1, 2, it goes back into its original place, which is what we want. And then the next frames is 1, 2 to the left, skip 1, 2 to the right, skip 1, 2 to the left. And I'm going to do that for all of the frames. So once that's done, that should look like this. See how good that looks? So I noticed some errors here. So when I cycle through my frames, see this? Yeah, we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my color picker. I'm going to select the polygon tool here. Actually, this is the contour line. So what this means is I can do a shape, and I'm going to question that shape. But generally, when you do a shape, it will fill it with that color. So I'm going to go to the areas that need some love and just kind of cover these up. And these don't have to be perfect, they can be kind of off a couple pixels just because we're dealing with clouds. Okay, for the most part that looks great. Sweet. Got the clouds kind of moving in this parallax, so now I'm going to move on to the purple ones, and then I'll move to this one in the back, kind of floating. For this one I'm thinking about doing up and down, but I'm not sure. I could change it, but I'm just going to go for it. Maybe I'll just do up, see what that looks like. Right now I'm just skipping 2 frames, and then for every other 2 frames I'm just gonna make it go up. Perfect. Yeah, that's turning out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the clouds. I'm gonna move on to this cloud now. Yeah, going right along. Not really sure what I'm gonna do with this cloud yet. I might just go down, maybe up. Not sure if I want to go left or right or not, but we'll see. I think that looks great. This cloud kind of looks like a turkey worm. I'm not sure what that means, but that's what it looks like. Sweet. So those clouds look very great. Alright, so for my next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background a little bit so it's not one solid color. So what I'm going to do for that is just kind of boost the saturation each frame by 2. Okay, that's set to 2 on saturation, and for my next frame I'm going to do 4. So I'm going to do 2, 4, 6, 8, and then maybe 10, and then I have to reverse, so I have to do 8, 6, 4, 2. Just so it can give the illusion that it's kind of pulsating. So for this one, for my saturation, 4. Next one, probably help if I use shortcuts, but that's okay. 6. Change this to 8. And this one, I think I'm going to leave it to 0, but I'm going to change it back to 8. Next one would be 6. Okay, my last frame. 2. This is what it should look like. See how it's not just one solid white, or it's like solid yellowish color? Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 6, 4, 2. I'm going to take the frames of 1 through 8. I'm going to delete these. Copy. I'm going to paste them in. See how that fit perfectly? Sweet. So now I'm going to move on to the next thing that I want to animate. And I think I want to step away from the clouds. I kind of want to animate the smaller things that I know that's not going to take that long, but they're very effective. And that's going to be these like ribbons in the background with the buildings and some stuff right here. Now with these, I'm going to not do the 2s. I'm going to do it every frame, because this gives the idea that it's being hit by wind at a very fast speed. So I should do that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this flag. I'm going to make sure that I'm on the right layer. I am. And I'm going to flip it. Bring it down. Actually, I might just leave it like that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. So I'm gonna do that for every other frame. Instead of doing 2, I'm just gonna do 1 frame skip. See how good that looks? Just that small detail. I'm gonna move on to the next ones. Let's see. Gonna move on to the next ribbon. I'd say that's turning out pretty good. I really like the wind effect that it's giving off. I think next what I'm gonna do is these like this fog like clouds in the back here. I'm gonna do the same thing with the parallax, but I'm gonna go from right, mid, and then to the left, and then back and forth. Alright, I think for the most part we're done here. I've added the moving clouds here. I've added the wind effect. I've added some particles like sand, just to kind of give it some character, as if sand's blowing through your colony. And I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I want to thank Chris for providing this background for us. I really enjoyed animating the Persian Empire, and hopefully we'll be able to do more stuff like this. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. You can like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also check out our Discord. We have a very healthy and friendly community, and we're always growing. Anyways, hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.
Tinyverse production, in association with Tiny Colony. A Pixels by Sketch Design. Boogerwolf Motion Effects. Executive producer, Arshia Navabi. Soundtrack by Dr. Corpse.